Buhari congratulates Yahaya Bello amidst reactions to election results. President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State on his re-election in the November 16 gubernatorial poll. The president, in a statement by his spokesman, Mr. Femi Adesina, in Abuja on Monday, described the election and emergence of the APC's candidate as a race well run and a victory well won. He commended APC supporters for remaining steadfast and resolute even in the face of isolated incidents of violence. He also saluted officials of INEC and security agencies for creditably discharging their responsibilities under difficult conditions. President Buhari urged Yahaya Bello to see his renewed mandate as another opportunity to build on the foundations already laid towards improving the lives of the people of Kogi. He also enjoined the governor to imbibe the spirit of magnanimity in victory by extending a hand of partnership to opposition candidates. Of course, the president's speech has received a lot of knocks on social media as people are wondering as to if the president is on ground at all and actually knows what went down at the Kogi elections. A quick reminder to us all, let's quickly go and look at one of the scenes coming from the just concluded gubernatorial elections in Kogi State. We'll be right back.
Abdul, no, let him go there. Yes, Maron, how about what are you talking about? No, they should go. See, no, they will move to Matera. I mean, not people who are Come on, where is that guy? Thank you. Where is that boy inside? I want him out on
Odugbeaga, where the PDP governorship candidate is supposed to cast his election ballot, he got here to the venue to just see how preparations were going on, checking out if everybody was set for the election process. Of course, a few minutes later, people who suspected to be thugs attempted invading the voting area here to disrupt the gathering of voters, to also, in the process, displace them from even voting here today. Well, the situation is calm now because in their attempt to come in, they were repelled by the police officers and the voters here who didn't allow them gain access into the voting area. But for now, calm has been restored and the voters say they will not be deterred.
Welcome back. All right, gentlemen. In most of the areas where the voting took place, you know, reports of ballot boxes being snatched, vote buying, you know, sporadic shooting into the air, and other forms of violence were reported. And here we are, quick celebration on the part of the APC, and in fact on the part of the president, you know, to quickly welcome and to congratulate the governor. The social media people are not taking this very well because they are saying, how can you marry these two situations? I'll start with you, Mr. Shoibi.
Well, it's shameful. And I must say that as much as of recent began to take interest in the activities of Mr. President, I think he should try as much as possible to ensure, despite this fact that this is his party, to not align himself with irregularities and shameful activities like this one. I think it's so sad that all the gains that we made from 2010 down to 2011 up to 2015 election, had been lost in the last 4 years, unfortunately. And the president has a responsibility to do far better. He should leave our election system far better than he met it, but I'm not seeing any effort towards that direction. It's so unfortunate. How do we describe a situation whereby talks now have superior powers beyond the security operatives in a state where we have security operatives running into thousands just for one state election? Now imagine we are running a whole country election. What would
general election.
The general election. And talks had the audacity to cause mayhem and cause disarray and create fear in people to come out peacefully to vote and just elect their governor. It's so sad. How we got there in the first instance, I don't even know.
Okay.
And when the Bible said the root of all evil, money is the root of all evil, I think we need to find a way to ensure that we make our political positions less attractive. One of the reasons why we are seeing this level of atrocity being committed, restricting people from exercising their rights, is because the positions are far too attractive.
Okay.
People make money they never worked for. Can we take those money away from them and let people who are ready to serve truly come here? I don't know why somebody will come out with guns just because he wants to convince people. Is guns what you use to convince people to vote for you? We need to take a step back and look at ourselves again. This is a society that we are going to give report to our children years down the line. And what do we tell them? That the elections that gave us the leaders they are going to have eventually was done with guns in the hands, with talks, snatching ballots. You understand? We need to do far better, honestly.
All right, let me hear from Mr. Tanner.
Well, quite unfortunate. The situation we find ourselves is very sad. Number one, concerning the president, as a father of the nation, he's not the president of APC. Neither is he the president of PDP or any other party. He's the president of Nigeria. All the parties inclusive. I won't blame him much because as an old man, he used to stay back at Aso Rock. He has his retinue of advisors on the field, feeding him. This is what is happening outside, though. This is what is happening outside. So based on that, as per this election, we ought to have seen the handwriting on the wall since last week. People dying, people shooting. You see sporadic, people shooting sporadic to the ear to scare people. And the police were on ground, about 23,000. I can't just imagine that figure. 23,000 or more than that on the ground, watching these people. Does it mean that all these people wielding machete and shooting to the sky, do they have the license for the gun? And one press man came among those the observers, said, look, he heard that people are stockpiling arms
prior to the election.
Nothing was done. Nobody was arrested, to the extent that even Dino Melaye's nephew was killed during this election. And you are now jubilating on people's blood. You are now, in fact, I'm sad. Wow. Why must we be killing ourselves? When are we going to have it right in this country?
Okay, all right. Mazi Obioha, let's hear your view before we talk about the role of the security agents in all of this.
Patient. Okay, I don't agree with you.
Okay.
With due respect.
No problem.
Especially in the area you say you don't blame the president much. I blame him more than 1,000%. Peshe, I wish I have all the time to express my personal opinion. After that, if your management refuses to bring me in, so be it. But Peshe, look at when David wanted to build the temple of God for him. God said, thou shalt not do it. I appreciate what you have done because your hand is what? Full of blood. Our president welcomed him. He never condemned the killings. He never disassociated himself from the wrongs. He never did everything to condemn the wrongs. And somebody is telling me he's the father of the nation. Agreed. But let a father play the fatherly role in everything. I had thought that we watched it live on television everywhere, where people who's supposed to guide, who's supposed to protect the voters, were the one chasing them. We also saw it where bosses were used by armed policemen or whatever in snatching ballot boxes, and they were escorted out of the polling units, out of the polling votes. And you say, well, I'm happy. I'm never happy. I will never be happy. Now look at the president who released 10.8 billion naira a week to the election.
A few days actually.
One Senator Abaribe said, the witch cried last night and the child died in the morning. Yeah. Look at why not leave it till after the election? They said no. They said no. The labor leaders went to the government house in Kogi State. The civil servants that had been owed 30 months went to the state house. And all what we saw on the television was they were dancing, that is going to be our governor, that is going to be our governor. And the same president was quoted as saying that don't elect a governor that is owing workers. And the same president is rejoicing that the same governor that is owing 30 months salary is now being celebrated, and he welcomes it. Is that not arrant nonsense? We are no longer a banana republic. We are in a devilish republic. Yeah. Devilish one. Devil is controlling this nation. And the democracy we gain from, look at when Iradua came on board. He acknowledged the fact that the person that brought him was fraud. I'm going to amend it. He now established, he now inaugurated the whatever headed by justice, and it didn't see the light of the day. Now Jonathan came, even though in 2011 every Nigerian voted for him, he had overwhelming vote, but 2014 he said one thing. He said the blood of an average Nigerian doesn't want my own ambition. No, before the result was, he congratulated him. And today the person we say is a president of integrity, fighting corruption, releasing 10 billion naira a few days ago. What do you expect them to do? Didn't he see it all? That's why I said exactly. Didn't he see the reports? The journalists reporting it live. Ballot boxes have been snatched. Look at the killings. He didn't say no. I thank you for being there, but then your election is full of blood.
Okay, we'll come back and take more reactions. The questions being posed out there is, since when did being loyal to a political party become more important than the actual value of a human life? Let's go and take this video. Kogites alleged there was complicity on the part of security agents at the just concluded elections. Let's go see the video. We'll be right back.
Who they carry? Na Shetima phone. Na Shetima phone. Kill them. Na Shetima phone.
You know, nothing will come out.
Okay, all right. So that's the video that's been shared online about the security agents that were supposed to safeguard the lives of voters, and ensure there were no electoral malpractices, actually aiding and abetting, the thugs in.
That was why I said, who is now guiding the guard? I remember 1990 during the Oka coup, and they went to the State House here in Lagos, and they dismembered and disconnected the armored car that guarding this thing. And there was a statement, who now guides the guard? Now, if the armed forces men, the soldiers,
And the police officers.
the paramilitary, the Navy, all what have you, the Air Force, all of them were there, are now the one aiding and abetting, looking before their eyes, assisting the stealing of the ballot boxes. Then if you were there, will you wait? Have you died and come back?
My brother, let me call
You have not died and come. That's why they run away. And these are people supposed to protect this. 35,000 policemen only.
for two
states.
What about no.
For 2 states.
Is it 35,000?
Yes, for Bayelsa and Kogi.
Pfizer.
I thought it's 35, 25.
25.
Okay. No, 35,000 soldiers, I mean military police, apart from the soldiers, apart from civil defense, apart from this, where are they? They were looking because it has been compromised. That is why during the last election in February and March, I saw some young boys playing on the road. I said, why can't you go and vote? He said, Daddy, why do you want us to go and vote? Will our vote count? Remember last Tuesday I was here when I was trying to analyze the implication of all these things. And I did say, do you know why they get it wrong? Is that go to court. You will not get justice. But Pesha, let me tell you one thing. When sin becomes pregnant, it delivers what? Death. When sin becomes pregnant, when evil pregnant sin delivers death. And that was the foundation we had. Obasanjo started it, but it wasn't like this. And he graduated. Remember when the former governor of Rivers State, Amidst, Obasanjo single-handedly removed him, saying his own nomination had leg. It was the court that brought him back. Since that time, PDP were going about writing, even in their individual rooms, writing reports. But the killings were not as much. But remember, foundation. But now, APC now went to Oxford University, graduated and know how to do it with killing of innocent people. Snatching ballot papers.
Nobody is happy. Let me tell you, nobody is happy. Because if you leave you can talk till tomorrow.
Exactly.
I know. Look, nobody is happy with this government. Look at what happened in Bayelsa. The soldiers are not saying...
Bayelsa now.
No. Before we go to Bayelsa.
Go ahead.
The people are, the soldiers are saying, no, all those people you are seeing are wearing a fake uniform.
So where were you to have effected an arrest?
So...
It's part of the electoral malpractices.
So look, we are not getting it right in this country. That's what I'm trying to say. And when are we going to get it right? Should be the question now. All our youth that they are being used as thugs, don't they have parents? Can't their parents call them to order? Look, you'll be used as thug now and dumped later. They have their own children in universities, in higher institutions. They have them overseas, abroad. But they'll be using you now and discard you.
Okay.
Later.
All right, Mr. Show. Let's move on quickly because of time. Because of time.
Well, for me, it's so sad, and there is no coloration you want to give it. It's sad.
Very sad.
And I'm just hoping that the president or somebody close to the president is actually looking at this, and they really, you cannot hold good in one hand and bring evil in the other. It's either you are good or you are bad. You cannot be saying I am fairly good. There's nothing like fairly good. If your electoral process to elect electoral officers or to elect political offices or office holders is filled with a lot of malpractices, there is no way you are going to get it right, because eventually when these people come inside into the political space, they will, all the money you say you have saved, they are going to squander everything. So let the will of the people always count in elections. Okay. There is no need for us to continue to use violence to force the personal wills on people.
It's not more an election. I will call it selection. Yes. It's selection.
All right, let's quickly go to the viewers' feedback and see how viewers are reacting. Mr. Abiodun Shokito, he's here and he says, bottom line, as Mr. Shoibi has said, is to make being in public office very much less attractive. Let us have, okay, please stop calling the line. Let us have professionals in politics, not professional politicians. He went on to say the president spoke as a politician, not as a statesman. All of us owe it a duty to the nation to sanitize the system. All hands must be on deck. All right, more feedbacks coming in. Promise from Ikeja says, good afternoon. This is inhuman. Watching this video shows the craziness and thirst for power by our politicians. All of them are animals in human skin. With Miss Fela, a song would have been made for this act. Thank you, Promise. Okay, to correct the man who said money has been released to Kogi government, it is approved, not released, and the money approved is to be used by any incoming government when the money is naturalized. It may be 1 year or more. Please correct yourself by that. Okay, APC, okay, I'll skip that one. Haba, Kogi election. Okay, I have a lot of okay, let me start from the first one. Kogi elections has taken Nigeria 10 years back. With what the president has done by congratulating Yahaya Bello, I now see the mindset behind the disobedience to court rulings. Is the president seeing with another set of eyes that are not Nigerian? Buhari should rise above this shame that Kogi election has brought to Nigeria. I expected more than how my president of all people has fallen short of the expectations of Nigerians. He has a part from Benin. And he went on to say, Haba, Kogi election was a war zone in the name of election, with security operatives being the ones who aided and abetted the rape of decency in democracy. Part from Auchi. All right, hello everyone. I'm Madam Kofo. I hope it's the same Madam Kofo we know. We are doomed in this country. You are talking of the congratulatory message from Buhari. Trust me, he didn't write that message. Come on. I'll skip the other part of your message and go on. Remember that Rotimi Amechi said so. He knows nothing concerning what's going on in this country. He's just there like a statue. Cabals are the ones ruling us.
Are you now saying what I'm saying?
Okay, let's take one more and then we move on. Mr. Lajobi, I'm still moderating. Our children will read about our history and regard us as barbarians. They would constantly wonder on why we simply couldn't get it right. It's a pity they won't know it was an era when the wrong people were in charge of affairs. Ifi from Ogba. More feedbacks, but time.
They suspend the study of history in our secondary school, so that our children will not
know this.
Okay, the president has urged all those who are dissatisfied with the outcome of the election to approach the courts. And talking about the satisfaction, the PDP candidate Musa Wada, of course we all know from the PDP, has rejected in strong terms the results as released by INEC. Also the SDP candidate Natasha Akpoti, who prior to the elections accused Yahaya Bello, the governor, of ordering her assassination, has also condemned the results of the elections. And moving it along, Dino Melaye and Smart Adeyemi, of course, will have to do a rerun of the elections, because INEC has declared the Kogi West Senatorial District rerun election inconclusive, and of course a date will be announced for a supplementary election.